Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosa and I'm joined by the glorious...
By the wonderful one amongst many. Hello, yes, I am here as well. And we're gonna have a chat about the darling of the community, everyone's favourite heroine, none other than Mercy herself.
Indeed. So, Mercy has been buffed. Now, initial reaction straight away, as soon as the PTR went live, I tweeted out a picture of the patch notes, which read as such: Valkyrie, ultimate cost reduced by 15%, healing per second increased by 50 to 60, so 10-point increase. Basically back to how her heal used to be before they nerfed her heal. And the devs' comments on this: Mercy's ultimate was changing a bit too slow, or was charging, sorry, a bit too slowly after her base healing was reduced in a previous update. These changes should restore some of her ultimate strength and let it build up more quickly. So, as often happens when Mercy is changed, nerfed, buffed, whatever, this is a buff, although... well, we'll get onto that in a second. There's a lot of community response. There's a lot of interaction. Like, loads of people were retweeting, liking that tweet. There was loads of comments coming in, some being quite extreme, as they normally are, like, delete Mercy from the game, and others going, oh, this is a good change, and others not really understanding what this is, and others going, this is just terrible. So, the big question is, what does this mean for Mercy players?
Yeah, it's an odd change, right? And when, like, we did a discussion video before when the nerfs first came in, and we sort of said that one of the knock-on effects of reducing her overall healing is that her ultimate is going to be weaker as a result. And then we sort of went on and discussed that, hey, her ultimate is kind of an odd one, right? It's not as powerful as some of the other ultimates, like the Zenyatta Transcendence, like the Sound Barrier is, but it's also not quite as quick to charge as Coalescence is, so it's not quite as use every single fight as Moira's ult is. This brings it back towards sort of more Moira's ult position, where it is something that you kind of spam out almost every fight. If you've got Valkyrie, you probably want to be using it. You probably want to be using it aggressively or making use of it as often as possible. But when this change came out, I sort of, the first place I look when I see that a change is gone is the people playing it at the highest level and the people maining it, the people like the streamers, for example. And I really liked EVA's response to this, and she said that it was like, she didn't like the change because it puts Mercy back in the crosshairs. And like you said, the extreme reaction is like, delete Mercy, I'll get rid of Mercy, stuff like that. Where it's like, they've reverted a change only on her ultimate mind. It doesn't, she's not got extra healing all the time. It's just on her ultimate. But it doesn't solve the issues that Mercy had that we kind of raised in that previous video, where she has no, like, burst healing. She has no utility heal. Her utility heal, her burst heal, is the res. And it's sort of, she's this weird mishmash of just not super engaging, but also kind of just there, providing tons of healing, and it doesn't solve her issues, but this also pulls her back into the public eye of being, oh god, Mercy's back, now everyone's going to be playing Mercy again. And that never feels good for those Mercy players that really like playing Mercy, but aren't quite getting the tools, I suppose, they need to make the character more viable.
Yeah, I think when we made the video talking about the Mercy nerfs, the big thing we sort of played on was her ultimate needs a bit more spice to it. It needs a bit more power. Obviously, we covered all of her individual healing capability and all that, how that was heavily nerfed, and that's obviously a problem because Mercy is a main healer, and when you stack her up against Moira and Anna, she's just not even on the same planet. She may as well just, she cannot compete with that level of healing output. However, this 15% increase or cost reduce on the ultimate means you get it more often, which, as you touched on, does mean you should be able to use this more often in fights. But the big problem still to me is, even when you use it, you still don't feel like you're having this major impact. It's like, oh yeah, I'm flying around and I'm just sort of AoE healing, and this is how I used to heal. So this feels really great, but yeah, people are still dying. Like, you don't really have that punch. You don't have that. I mean, you look at Anna, right? Anna's going to come in, she's going to hit you with Nano. That's going to save you. That is an immediate punch that's going to save you if you're taking heavy damage. If you're taking heavy damage and Mercy's like, I'm going to Valk, you're probably dead. I mean, she can't really stop that. But as we did discuss before, yes, she does have the option of the damage boost, so it does give her almost, I want to use this very lightly, this term, but limitless value with her ultimate, because she's always going to get some sort of value out of it. Whereas Anna, she could waste Nano on somebody and get pretty much no value. Moira could use Coalescence and just, I don't know, go crazy and try and kill the Genji on the other team instead of healing a team or whatever. So there's a lot of variables that come into play, but I think this ultimate is still an issue to me. I still think Mercy doesn't do enough healing, but I know that this is very touchy for me to say this, because when Mercy does too much healing, we all know where that goes.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is the point that EVA was trying to touch on, and that is that this change, like, it's like they're bouncing around and like trying to find the precise number. Oh, if we make her healing 54.7 per second, then she's in the perfect balance spot and is completely viable and is perfectly in tune with everything else. And then they'll change Ana, and then suddenly, oh no, Mercy's not viable anymore, right? This isn't the change that's needed to make Mercy into something valuable. And I want to sort of like pull everybody's minds back and think like, okay, well, let's talk about like hero feel, like the player fantasy concept, right? The Blizzard likes talking about this idea that when you play a certain hero, you have this thing that hero does that other heroes don't do super well. And with Mercy, my mind goes to like, she should be the almost like the caretaker of the team. She should be the reliable healing. You should feel safe when you're around a Mercy. And I think that doesn't quite happen at this current point, where you feel safer when you've got an Ana, you feel safer when you've got a Moira. Because when you play Mercy, you give up almost all offensive options, individually at least. You can damage boost people, but that is your offensive option. You enable other people to do stuff. And I don't think that Mercy's at that point anymore where she completely fulfills that player fantasy of being the caretaker of the team almost, of being the one that will keep everybody safe, everybody alive. Now, I will say that if a Widowmaker meta comes round, for example, I'd expect to see Mercy coming back, because the one thing that Mercy can do that other heroes can't is do something after somebody has died. And Widowmaker, for example, well, she will just explode someone from across the map, and Mercy is the only one that can fix that. Now that Widowmaker, she still gets played, she's still viable, but she doesn't dominate the meta, then Mercy sort of falls to the backside a little bit, where you don't need that sort of post-death response to people going down. Doomfist.
Also,
yeah.
I guess actually as well, touching on that, the 2CP as well. Like, you can see Mercy played often on defense there, just because of the same thing. You know, you can bring people back from the dead. It still is a good ability. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Res is a strong ability, but just going a little bit further back to what you said about where she fits into the game. This is going to sound quite demeaning, but in my eyes, she's literally only got any use if you're going to run a pirate ship on Junkertown, or you have a Pharah. Yeah. In every other example, you pretty much want Ana or Moira. Mercy doesn't compete with them with healing output. That's the issue I've got. So I like this idea of fantasy now. I mean, what, you're just an accessory, just two heroes in the game. Okay, that's simplistic, but you get what I'm saying, right? It doesn't feel like, oh, I've got Mercy, I feel safe. Exactly what you said. If you've got Mercy, if Mercy's on your team, and okay, let's just roll with the team comp. Well, a support team. So let's say Mercy and Zen. Now, this is kind of okay. We've got the defensive ultimate from Zen, and we've got Mercy, highly mobile, can heal individual targets, has got Valkyrie, can res people. The issue is, her healing isn't good enough. And I think I'll just leave it at that. Her healing is not good enough. But I don't know what to do with this, because it really annoys me that Mercy is not... Mercy needs to be a fairly strong hero. She is not a strong hero right now, but she doesn't need to be too strong. And your point of like, oh yeah, they're messing with numbers, you know, slightly increasing the healer, doing little bits and pieces. It doesn't really feel impactful, and it almost makes me want like like a radical redesign of the hero. I don't know, like she's so annoying to me, Mercy is. Like,
well, it's a tough one to get right.
She represents a massive proportion of the community as well.
Yeah, she's a hugely popular hero. People really, really like the design. They really like the idea of her. She's a very good hero as well, and some people will hate me saying this, but she's also a very good hero for new players to pick up and learn the game with, because she's not like super mechanically
People
intensive.
Shouldn't hate you for that though. That is why she's in the game. There are heroes in this game which are designed to be accessible to people who do not play FPS games, because I've said this before. This is not Counter-Strike, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't Quake. This is Overwatch. There are here, like, you've got tanks, and you don't have to have ridiculously amazing mechanical aim. You have to have game sense. This is why you'll see a lot of console players who are high on the console ladder managing to make it. Like, I think we had like a Mercy main get to rank 1 recently globally. That's not. Like, I mean, why? That's because they've got a good brain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, they're still good players, but you need the brain.
The amount of times, like, because I do my coaching series, I do a lot of sort of coaching people. And the amount of people that come to me and say, yeah, Overwatch is my first FPS. And so you need that introduction. You need heroes able to do that. You need heroes able to, slide people into this game. And Mercy does help fill that role. But she's tough. She's just really, really tough to get right, because the moment she's overtuned, then she becomes like this huge problem where she's just mandatory and everybody has to play her regardless of skill cap. She needs something, and I think this is something that Mercy players have been asking for, and with the original redesign, when she lost her 6-man res or 5-man res, With the redesign there, like a lot of us were like, hey, yeah, she's got a higher skill cap now. And I think she does need things that can help differentiate a bad Mercy player from a good Mercy player. She just needs something that makes her feel that major healer.
I think she kind of does have that, though. Like, you need to know when to go into res. You have to be decent with your Mercy positioning. You have to be aware of where your teammates are so you can get out of the, Guardian Angel away or go in. So you still need that. There still is opportunity for a good Mercy to shine above an average Mercy. But the issue is they just do not do enough healing. So why have the Mercy in the first place? Like, it's such a crazy discussion to have this, is because it doesn't seem too long ago that Mercy's just everywhere. She's so powerful. You're going into a game, we don't have a Mercy, we've lost. I mean, that's literally how competitive went. Oh, the enemy have got Mercy, but nobody on our team wants to play her, so we lose. Great. That's not great, so we don't want that again. But we can't be in a situation where the hero is just...
I want to highlight
the premise. Well, the premise of our video was she's the weakest healer in the game, and she is.
Yeah.
Still.
And I want to highlight one weird example, right? Because I mentioned this Widowmaker thing earlier, right? You think Mercy will be strong against a hero that goes in and one-shots someone and then doesn't really do much after that one shot. And so my mind instantly goes, well, what hero does that currently in the game? Oh, it's Doomfist. Why isn't Mercy being used against Doomfist? Because she just can't res fast enough, she can't pick someone up fast enough, she can't keep someone safe from the Doomfist, so you just run other healers instead. You run the Zen, or you run the Ana, you run stuff that can help maybe counter the Doomfist or have offensive options or have extra value on top of that. And it's such a weird case, and to me, like, Mercy should be the ultimate hero in stopping these assassins, stopping these sort of heroes that come in, kill one person, and then bounce out. And she doesn't do that against Doomfist. She just doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we had the instant res before, and that was crazy. But, like, I'm trying to think of ways we could... I mean, maybe... I'm sure they've tested this, but if she had some sort of immunity while she was resing, again, that's probably really frustrating to play against, because Mercy pops out. Because you know what it's like, when Mercy goes for the res, you want to kill the Mercy, right? You just start firing at the Mercy, like, die, Mercy. Obviously, the target being resed is kind of immune as it's being resed, and then it pops into life and off it goes.
There's a simple answer. Do you want to know the simple answer to help counter like this Doomfist problem, and perhaps would actually help her out quite a lot in general? It's overheal. If she can overheal one person, then maybe she can pull them out of that one-shot range. If she can bring people up to like 300 hit points, and then it burns off very quickly if she stops healing them, then suddenly she has that role, right? She has that caretaker role, that idea of, if Mercy's got you, then you are safe, right? That to me is like the hero fantasy behind Mercy, that idea that she is watching over you. She is your guardian angel. And if she can overheal, well, suddenly a lot of these problems go away.
Well, I mean, let's talk about some ways of solving this. So overheal is definitely one. Another one would be ramping up a heal as you're taking damage. So if you've got less health, she heals you faster. I mean, Doomfist comes in. Doomfist, if he punches you against a wall, most heroes are probably going to die to that. But if Doomfist uppercuts you and starts... Because normally Doomfist flies in, doesn't he? Uppercuts, shoot, and you're dead, right? Then he punches away. That's the Doomfist rotation. If he comes in and tries to do that, and then suddenly Mercy's beam attaches to you, but it becomes like not like an uber heal or whatever, but it becomes much stronger because you're taking more damage, almost like she is the emergency response. That means that the Mercy player then would have a lot of different options in a fight, because you think, do I slowly heal my tank up who's maybe took 20% damage, or I've got other people who have taken more damage, I can fly over to them, rapidly heal them, and then fly back in, maybe pick a different target. But I think with the Doomfist example, having a faster healing output or a higher healing output if somebody is taking damage or has a low relative percentage of HP compared to what they normally have, that might be quite interesting. I don't know how they would make that work. I think your overheal idea is slightly a bit more...
It would actually be
probably easier to implement.
You could just also make it heal faster the lower hit point someone's on. It's that simple. So as they take damage, then and the lower the health gets, the faster your healing comes in. And so then you do have that crisis response, right? Mercy, like in the lore, Mercy is meant to be this crisis response, like war doctor.
Yeah, you remember the first reveal trailer where she flies down, there's like some kid in a war zone, and she's like,
oh, like that's what
and it was the other Mercy voice actor. Come with me, I will help you.
It's just very, very accurate as well. So that was Mercy's original voice, ladies and gentlemen, right there, just perfect. 100%. I'm just imagining Mercy just, yes, come with me, I will help you, yeah. God, can you imagine? Anyway, yeah, it's like the idea of like this crisis doctor. So if she's just healing you faster as you drop lower and lower in hit points, then maybe that's a way of doing it. It also means that if you are, as a Mercy player, very astute and you realize, okay, well, Doomfist is coming for assassination, I need to put a heal on this person, then that's suddenly a skill thing, right? That's suddenly a reactions thing. You need to know who to put that beam on at any given time. You need to know that now, but it becomes even more important. And again, this adds into ways for Mercies to get ahead of the pack, for Mercies to help differentiate themselves even more from, you know, what might be a bad Mercy or a good Mercy. And that, to me, that's like, good for the game.
Yeah, it is. You need accessible heroes to play, but the key is having these heroes that are accessible with a much higher skill ceiling. So as you go up through the ranks, the hero is still, you know, applicable to play, but you need to be able to adapt.
It's the Blizzard mantra, right? It's easy to learn, hard to master.
Yeah, but like that's not really true, though, is it? With Overwatch, I mean, when you look at the meta comps as such, and I mean, we've just spent a whole video discussing Mercy and how she's really weak. So it goes all over the place, doesn't it? I mean, it's going to be impossible to balance all of the heroes so they're all viable all of the time. That's never going to happen. My main concern is just making the heroes so they have some sort of power level relative to other heroes that do a similar job. But I do agree with Mercy being this crisis type of guardian angel, you know, emergency ambulance doctor kind of coming in to save the day. Like, she, when you look at the other supports in the game, all of them have got some sort of offensive capability. Mercy has the least offensive capability because, ladies and gentlemen, if you're running around with a pistol out, you need to be slapped because that's just ridiculous. Like, you should not be doing that. So Mercy's sole purpose is to heal. That is literally it. Yeah, you can say Moira's is as well, but Moira does have the option to do damage. Moira needs to do damage to charge a heal. Anna can just start sniping away as she's healing. You know, Lucio doesn't really heal, does he, as such? Let's be honest. He just presses a button and runs around shooting people. So that's Lucio. Zen is all about damage. Zen's an artillery cannon in the back line. Brig is... Can I even call Brig a support? I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
That's for another video.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, healer. I don't know. Anyway, any final thoughts, Josh, before I throw this to the viewers and they give us their thoughts on what's going on?
I genuinely want to see what people can come up with because, you know, we're just two numpties. We are, you know, I'm admittedly not a Mercy player myself either. I just try and keep an eye on like what the big Mercy players are saying. So if you guys have other ideas, better ideas, like I want to see them. I want to know what people would do to make Mercy more engaging or just fix Mercy other than just tuning numbers. Because I think they can tune numbers until the cows come home, but I don't think it'll either just mean that Mercy's overpowered or she's underpowered. This doesn't seem to be the solution. This doesn't seem to be the way to reintroduce Mercy into the game in an impactful manner.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us know what you think about this video in the comments below and tell us how you would fix Mercy as well, especially if you're a die-hard Mercy main. I would love to know. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost, and he has been...
One amongst many, and yeah, this has still been Unit Lost.
Well, true, yeah. I kind of did that end there before. Anyway, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, by the way, you can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Unit Lost Gaming, and you are...
At @1_amongst many.
And I believe you stream on Twitch as well, sir.
I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/ESL_1amongst many. It's super clunky, but you'll be able to find me if you look me up.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.
Toodles.